Hey there, I'm Angel, and I just got back from a week-long trip in Cuba where I stayed at a resort called the Meliá Cayo Santa Maria. I'm probably gonna do a separate video where I'm going to review our experience, our trip there, in case you're curious about the resort and maybe other Cuban resorts, they might be comparable. But this video is more like a packing guide plus tips on what to do, what to bring, what to expect at the end. So I'm gonna start with like 20 things that I found were essential to packing for the Cuban resort, or resorts in general maybe. Then I'm going to list a few honorable mentions and things that are just obvious will end up in your suitcase, and finish off with some tips to make your trip extra smooth. Essential number one, obviously let's start with the obvious, the suitcase itself. A regular luggage should be enough for a week. It was enough for us. We each had our own carry-on suitcase. But if you want to bring back some goodies from your travel destination, you might want to get a check-in luggage. A lot of people wanted to bring back bottles of alcohol, cigars. The rum in Cuba is kind of famous for rums and cigars. We wanted to keep our luggage with us just so, you know, it's faster. You get off the plane after customs, you're out of there. And you know where your luggage is at all times, so just for safety and not trusting airlines, I would recommend doing that. But definitely if you want to bring back some big items, liquids, and you want to bring with you a lot of liquids, you will have to have a check-in luggage. I actually ended up buying a bottle of like coconut rum or something at the duty free and putting it in my carry-on, so you could also do that. The price was actually the same as the one at the hotel resort, so. Number two, essential, powerful sunscreen, and 1 bottle per person. We took the classic Hawaiian Tropics SPF 30 or something, 1 bottle for 2 people. 1 week, it was not enough. Ovella was a tomato, even for my skin, and I thought, you know, I'm mixed, I'll be safe, but I was burned and I peeled, and it was an experience. So I would really recommend 1 bottle per person, especially if you love the sun like me. I love the sun, I love to tan, I love being out there in the water, so I need the sunscreen. The sunscreen will not prevent you from tanning, it will just protect your skin and help prevent burns, and which leads to peeling and drying of the skin and all that. But you can also drink a lot of water to keep your skin moist. Side note, when we were there, we actually watched a documentary on spring break in the US and how it was created. And the founder of Hawaiian Tropics is part of that story. It's crazy. And now I was like, oh, so it has nothing to do with Hawaii. It's just some white guy in Florida who just came up with it just to make money. And you know, a lot of companies out there, if you dig a little deeper, you'll see the story is just rich dude wanted to get richer, or poor dude wanted to get rich, and that's it. It's just marketing. So just thought I would share that for those who thought it's from Hawaii and you're maybe helping the natives by investing in it. You're not. Number 3, Aloe Vera Gel. Now I make my own gel and I didn't bring any. I knew I should have, but I just was like, you know what, maybe we'll be fine, sunscreen will be enough. No, aloe vera gel is fantastic for burns. You could buy bottles at the pharmacy, it's like, what, $2? Or you can get like the really natural ones and they're like $20. Or you can go to the store, get an aloe vera leaf, blend it and pack it in a jar. If it's a carry-on, make sure it's 100 milliliters or less. The resort had aloe vera plants everywhere and all kinds. I hadn't seen all these kinds of aloe vera plants. Their little store, dépanneur, didn't have anything. So I was like, I'm gonna use nature to my advantage. And I took 1 leaf, I cut it up in the bedroom using a hair clip. I felt like MacGyver. I was like, look at me, slicing the sides with that hair clip and all. I drained it of its toxins and it had a lot of like yellow stuff coming out of it. It was crazy. Then I cut it up and I actually used it for my hair. I'll get to that in a minute, as a gel and a moisturizer. But yeah, I also rubbed it on my skin, on mosquito bites too. 4, coconut oil. Now, whatever it is you do with your hair, bring your hair products. At the resort, I asked if they had anything to hydrate hair, especially after so much pool time. Nothing. That's why I went into the bushes and I got some aloe vera gel. Coconut oil is fantastic. Why? Also because it can also serve as a skin moisturizer. So instead of having something for your hair and something for your body, you can just bring some little bottles of coconut oil and you should be fine. The thing is that I had packed a homemade shea butter whipped lotion concoction for my hair and skin, but at customs in Canada, they said that it was too much. I completely forgot to abide by the 100 milliliter rule for that bottle. Everything else I had made sure was 100 milliliters or less, and they snatched it from me. So I was lotionless, and I had to use the complimentary bottle of lotion with I don't know how much silicone they put in there, and I was sad. I was very sad. So yes, coconut oil is a great all-in-one solution. Or any mango butter, I don't know what you use, but I'm just saying coconut oil usually does the job really well. And I would suggest freezing it before you get on the plane so that they don't see it all liquidy, so they won't think of it as a liquid and might just let it pass as a solid. So just a tip, I wish I had done that. Number 5, a rich face and body moisturizer. If you don't use the coconut oil, at least make sure you have lotion or something for your body and your face. There are a lot of facial moisturizers that come with SPF in them, so it will protect your face from the sun, because our face is usually the most sensitive. Moisturize. Make sure that skin stays on your body. This leads me to number 6. I would recommend having a good face and body scrub. If you want to be out there not looking like a mummy, you can scrub that dead skin off in the shower and go on, continue re-tanning to get that evenness. Number 7, Vick's Vaporub, or the off-brand version for soothing mosquito bites and burns. Oh my gosh, since it has that kind of cooling sensation, when I put it on my burns, I felt euphoric. Also helps you to fall asleep. It's a decongestant, but it does a lot of things. You can even look online. There are videos that explain all the wonderful things you can do with Vick's Vaporub besides just decongestion. Number 8, this is maybe especially for my natural girls. Shampoo. Bring your own shampoo. The one that they provide has a lot of silicone in it, and I've been natural for a long time since I transitioned, and I avoid products with silicone in them. One day I got curious and I tried the hotel shampoo that was provided. It's a shampoo conditioner. I thought, my hair is dry, maybe if I use the shampoo conditioner it'll condition it. No, I could feel it when I was washing it, that sleekness. I was not happy. So if you care about your hair, if you've gone natural, or if you have a very fancy shampoo or conditioner too, bring them. Number 9, also super important. My gosh, I looked at people who had this with envy in my eyes. Bug repellent, mosquito repellent. The mosquitoes in Cuba don't play. And we were walking buffet. And it was very unpleasant, especially when we slept. So we didn't sleep very well. So the people that I saw applying bug spray on them, they looked so happy and pure. It's been 2 days away from the mosquitoes and I'm still scratching my skin off. So I really recommend, if you do not enjoy being feasted upon, feeling those little needles picking at you, slapping your body all day long, getting paranoid, bad sleep because of it, they went into my ear, okay? I recommend mosquito repellent. Spray that thing on. Feel good about yourself. It's worth it. Number 10, this might be not for everybody, but I really wish I had brought Q-tips. You'll be doing probably a lot of swimming in pool water, in chlorine, at the beach. In general, a lot of colds and flus are actually caught through the ear. You get sick through the ear. So if you're feeling kind of sick and phlegmy, it might be because they're in your ear and they're growing. So what I usually do is put a few drops of hydrogen peroxide in my ear for 10 minutes. If it's bubbling, it means it's killing the germ. I, empty my ear into a cotton pad and usually clean it up with some Q-tips. So I brought a bottle of 100 milliliter hydrogen peroxide that I had found and I was super happy, and did that when I was feeling iffy. My ears were bubbling like crazy. They'd never bubble that much. That's how I knew that there was a lot of stuff in there. And I didn't have the cotton Q-tips to clean out my ears. And if you don't use hydrogen peroxide, I would just recommend cleaning your ears daily just to limit the possibility of getting sick. This brings me to number 11, another sanitary tip, if you will, wet wipes. There are little packs that you can get at the pharmacy. Put one in your purse, put one in the bathroom. It's very useful to go to a public bathroom and have a wet wipe to clean yourself properly. You will feel fresh, especially if you might get something called diarrhea. From experience, it's unpleasant and it's messy, and you'll be very happy that you had wet wipes on hand to keep yourself fresh. Also, little tip that I wanted to mention later, but might as well mention it now. If you have a little pocket perfume, when you're in the bathroom in a public place, you don't want to be the embarrassing one. Some people get potpourri. I know that's a new thing, but I just use like a perfume and spritz it in the air as I do my business so that, no one's the wiser. I think that's the expression. Number 12, Advils and Tylenols or acetaminophen, ibuprofen, anything that is for headaches and cold flu-like symptoms. I don't think that they provide it at the resort and you'll have to leave and go into town and it's like taxis hours away. Bring some with you. Very, very useful. If you're a person who tends to have headaches, especially from not drinking enough water and being under the sun all the time, you will get headaches. The changing of the temperatures from indoor cooling to outdoor humidity. Put a few in a plastic bag or get the tiny bottles. Also, side note, if you are a person who gets nauseous on planes or you have just issues with nausea, I recommend getting some anti-nausea pills like Gravol. That also helps. Number 13, to keep on the plane tips, I would recommend getting a nice sweater and pants or a nice blanket for the plane. We were flying with Air Transat and apparently now they make you pay for everything, including the meals. Well, I think it's to South America. Anyways, and the plane is super cold. A lot of people forget that or don't know because they've never traveled on a plane before. And if you don't want to pay for a measly blanket that I don't even know if you get to keep, I recommend packing something. You will be happy you have one, trust, because when you're shivering and you're tired and you're flying, it's nice to be warm. It's nice. Number 14, this is more for people traveling either in pairs or with other people, with friends, family, lovers, and who like to share music. Some people were at the beach and annoyingly had their little Bluetooth speakers so that everyone has to suffer through their music choices. We don't all like the same things, so what you can do is bring a splitter. Ovella and I had a splitter and we listened to nice, relaxing jazz and lounge music by the beach, in the bus, etc. together. Oh, and watched movies that way in the plane, and it was wonderful. Really, such a great little investment. It's like cost nothing, and it's really something that if you like to listen to something with someone, I recommend having a splitter on hand. Number 15, still on theme, I recommend bringing Bluetooth or waterproof wireless earphones. I brought my wireless Bluetooth earphones with me, set up a playlist on my phone, then I could go into the pool water, walk around, try not to get wet, and listen to my music while looking around at the beautiful palm trees and the water and the sights, and I love it. It was like a soundtrack for the pool. Trust, it's really great if you're a music lover and a water lover. I just wish that they were waterproof so that I could get a little bit wet and not have to worry, because then I was like sucking the water out of them when they would get a bit wet so that they wouldn't. And they did go a little haywire, so I hope they're okay, but definitely something I recommend. It's also just for life. It's much easier to go around with Bluetooth earphones than to get caught up with all those wires. So I don't know, I like it. Number 16, we're getting into a bit more random topics here, are the shoes that you will bring. I recommend having a pair of slippers for the bedroom, a pair of flip-flops for outside, beach, pool, etc. And then a pair of fancy shoes because we actually had to have a pair that you can travel with if you want. But I'm saying this because I had my flip-flops and I used them for the bedroom and for the pool and beach, and it's not always so pleasant to drag that sand around or the dirtiness. So bring two pairs of flip-flops, one for the indoors and one for outdoors. Number 17 is for digestion. I brought some probiotics and digestive enzymes supplements with me. because they help me with digestion, and I knew that I would be eating new foods, and I have a stomach that's used to North American foods, very bioengineered, and I was afraid that things would happen, and they did happen, but on the last day. So yay, digestion. If you don't know about them, I would recommend looking into them. I would take a probiotic pill either before or after a meal, once a day, just it was enough for me, or a digestive enzyme supplement. I would take that before the meal to make sure that I wouldn't feel woozy or queasy, or it would just help me digest what I was about to eat. You could also bring Imodium or Pepto-Bismol if you are more the person who wants to treat the symptoms after they occur. So eat carelessly and then, whoop, upset stomach, diarrhea. Take one of those and you'll be fine, I think. Number 18, it's not an essential, but it was essential for me. Bring a few movies and TV shows with you on a laptop or your phone if you have gigs and storage space. I watch a lot of TV shows, a lot of movies, and I enjoy watching them with my bae, Ovella. So it would have been nice to have a few on hand. I brought a few, but not enough, because I thought we would spend all of our time reconnecting and disconnecting from electronics. But there were kind of a lot of dead times, and after we have said everything to each other, especially at night before going to bed, it's nice. We enjoy curling up in bed, watching something together. We ended up watching the TV in the room, and it did have some interesting channels. We discovered MTV and Catfish, and we actually really enjoyed that. I just recommend, especially also for travel on the plane, it makes time fly by. Watch a few episodes of something, or TV show, or movies. I wish that I had our episodes of The Office on hand so we could laugh all night and forget about the worries and the troubles that came with resort life. Check out the review if you want to find out what I mean. Number 19, for me, it's an essential, and it's kind of obvious, your phone and its wall charger. I listen to music, I had my phone on me, check the time, always on me, so definitely needs to be charged at the end of the day. Bring that wall charger. You can even, at the resort, probably be safe to hook it up directly into the wall. That's what we did. We didn't use a surge protector. We tried, kind of blew a fuse. So I would just use the wall carefully. Number 20, the last essential that's actually pretty handy, is a beach bag. I brought our grocery bag with us, which has pockets and stuff that we could use as a beach bag, and it was super helpful to have it on hand so that we could just throw our towels in it, water bottle that the room provides, and sunscreen, little electronics, and go into the beach worry-free. You can bring your backpack if you want, but we used our backpack for other things during travel. It had a computer in it and all that, so if you don't want to be like moving stuff around all the time, I recommend having a separate bag designated as beach bag or pool bag, and that will be the bag that carries the things, and it's very useful. That was the top 20 essentials. Now I'm going to list a few things that might be obvious, but I'm just mentioning them. Obviously you want underwear, pajamas, toiletries, so that includes shower gel, toothpaste, essential, and toothbrush, hairbrush, panty liners, and sanitary accessories. Ladies, check your calendar. Where are you in your cycle when you are traveling? You'll know what to do. Travel deo or regular size deo. I brought my regular size deo. And perfume, a good perfume, because you want to smell nice. A small makeup kit. I just brought eyeliner, lip gloss, and a lipstick. That's usually what I typically wear, even for my videos. I put something on my lips, sometimes eyeliner, but rarely do I put foundation or stuff on. Just like to keep it natural, but I like my lips to pop sometimes. It's fun. Packed a few earrings just to have a little diversity, especially on those nights when we went to the restaurant. Then there's the essentials, of course. There's your shorts, shirts. I brought a jumpsuit with a belt for the fancy dinners, and a summer dress so I could throw on, take it on, off, something light and easy for the beach and the pool. And then these are useful but not essential, small plastic bags. They might not be on point in your room, the maid service, and you might need to have some plastic bags on you to throw away either things in the bathroom or things in your room, little trash that you may have. But also if you have gifts, it's nice to wrap them in a plastic bag, especially if it's liquids, so you don't have to worry about spillage. There you have it, a few tips on what to pack, what to bring, and I'm gonna finish now with some tips for resort goers. First things first, currency exchange. We went to Cuba, we had to exchange money into Cuban pesos, CUC, CUC, and you could do that at the resort, but you couldn't change it back to Canadian dollars. You can do that at the airport. So just a note, your resort might not let you change it back. Make sure you estimate how much money you're going to spend on gifts, on tips, leaving it for the people at the resort hotel. And you can always keep exchanging. You don't have to be like, here, exchange $500 at once. You can start with 40, come back with another 40, and go on progressively so that you're not left with extra pesos at the end that you can't use outside the country. Next tip, get a lock for your suitcase or carry-on, whatever it is. It's nice because I could put my laptop in my suitcase and leave it in my room with the lock on, and I felt safe. Another tip also is using your carry-ons or suitcases strategically. Since we had 2 suitcases, we used one where we packed things of value, things we weren't likely to use, backup things, you know, sweaters, etc. in one suitcase, and we put the lock on it, secured it. And the other suitcase, we just put the clothes, undies, things that we're gonna use daily so that we could easily open it up, take things out, close it without worry. That was a strategic way of using our suitcases. Of course though, other tip, use the room safe. Apparently the hotel is not responsible for things of value that are lost or stolen or whatever outside of the room's safe. Comes with instructions, very easy to use in our case. I highly recommend putting your phone, your chargers, your cables, your wallet, your passport, all those things, credit card, etc. that you don't need on hand on regular. Put them in there, lock it up, and you'll feel good. Another tip, if you have a carry-on luggage, make sure that all of your liquids, I re-emphasize this point, are under 100 milliliters and safely secured in Ziploc bags. Returning from Cuba, there was a message that on the wall that said it was prohibited to have liquids in your carry-on suitcases. But when I talked to the agent at the desk and I explained to him that they were all 100 milliliters and less, put in Ziploc bags, etc., he said that no, that was fine. So they don't explicitly say it, but it should be fine. Other tip, you can bring an umbrella. We brought our umbrellas, especially because when we were leaving, it was raining in Montreal. But they have huge umbrellas at the resort, so you don't have to bring an umbrella if you don't want to. And check with your resort to make sure that they have umbrellas in the room for the guests. Another tip, I brought some peppermint oil and I would spread a few drops of it on our bed sheets, on the pillow, and the curtains, just so that the room would smell fresh. It was a mix, I think, eucalyptus and peppermint, something like that. And it made the room smell great. You could also just bring a room spray if you have one. But this was small and easy to transport, and it has a strong, strong smell. So I used it and I loved it, because when we would come into the room, it would smell fresh, it would smell fine, and it helps to sleep when you're in a nice eucalyptus-y environment. So I recommend that. You don't have to bring your own towels. There are the towels in the room for shower, etc. And they also at the resort provided these blue towels for the beach. We were each supposed to get one. The towels logistics at the resort were also kind of a headache. And we had brought 2 towels in case, and we were actually happy to have them. So you don't have to bring them, but it's nice to have them on hand, especially if the resort service is kind of lacking and they don't have the towels and it's going to be available tomorrow and you have to run around looking for someone to get a towel. Anyways, you can bring one if you want, but you don't have to. For people with travel anxiety, like me, I have adult onset travel anxiety. It's so weird, it's irrational, whatever. I would recommend getting some anti-anxiety supplements. I recently got some, I think it's called Ashwagandha pills, and it worked really well for me. So I just want to throw that out there for people who get nauseous and dizzy and tingling in their hands and diarrhea from the fear of going to the airport or getting on the plane, or get something, do something, get a supplement, do some research, see what can work for you, or talk to your doctor about it. Just a tip, get something for your anxiety. Ooh, also pack floaties. I saw a lot of people with pineapple floaties or flamingo floaties, and they were floating around in the pool or the beach and in the sea, and it looked so fun, and I wish that I had one because I love to float. Ovella calls it starfishing. That's what I do. I just lie there and let the waves carry me, or I just love to float. I'm a floater. So I recommend the floaties. They were nice and bright and beautiful and fun. Another tip, if you're traveling with a travel agency, go to the welcome meeting. We were traveling with Air Transat at the hotel resort. They had a meeting the following day of our arrival, and we were with Maïdeli, and she gave us all this information. She had great information. You really learn a lot. If you don't know what to do, where to start, go to the meeting. The agent will explain a lot. They probably have some frequently asked questions and they answer them. Another important tip, turn your phone on airplane mode if you didn't get a travel package with your phone company. I learned that the hard way. We had emergencies. Apparently there was a storm or something in Montreal while we were away. I wanted to check my phone to make sure nothing was wrong because we apparently got a call from our landlord, so we thought, oh no, something happened to our place. And boom, over $100 of data charges from checking emails. Anyways, just saying, really put your phone on airplane mode. They're sneaky, they are rude, and they don't care about you. They want their money, so don't give it to them. For people with sensitive eyes, Ovella mentioned bring goggles for the pool and the beach. It was very salty water. His eyes were very sensitive and reacted to the chlorine and all that. So I would recommend bringing goggles for those people. Always have a bottle of water on hand. It's very important. It gets really hot. If you're going to a beach resort, you will get drained. You're running around, you're swimming, you don't realize it, you're getting dehydrated. Drink lots of water. Our resort provided a bottle of water per room every day. So a 2-liter bottle would be deposited in our room every day. We would take that with us in our beach bag and go everywhere with it. Very useful. Another tip is to have 2 bathing suits so you can alternate while you wash one and let it dry one day. The next day use the other one. Or you can use I personally had a one-piece and a bikini, so I could use one for tanning and then use the other one when I wasn't feeling very showy. But it's just a tip. Also for men, having 2 swim trunks. Ovella wish he did, because it was necessary. Let's just say that. And the final tip, which is like a resort tip, but really it's just for fun. If you are dining at the hotel buffet, which is included, get there early on schedule to have the most options. We would arrive late into the dining hours and there was not much left to feast on. People are like vultures. They swoop in, they eat everything, and the hotel doesn't really stock back up on the things that people actually want, in our case. So we were left with the scraps or the dried rice or something. So I would just recommend getting there early if you're a foodie and you want to have the best selection. Et voilà, those are my tips on what to pack if you're going to a resort, and a few extra tips and tricks to having a great, smooth trip. If you're going, I hope you enjoy yourself, have a great time. Before you leave, please click on the like button, subscribe to M-Angel if you haven't already. It means a lot. And leave comments in the comment section below. What did you bring that you think other people should bring? Or if you have any questions, leave them below. I would be happy to answer them. Let's keep the conversation going. Take care, have fun, enjoy yourselves, and be safe.